How do you deal with sabotage from an individual within the Scrum team? Step one, don't make that assumption. Don't assume it's sabotage. Okay? It's a thing, it happened. What we need to do is talk about it. Okay? So I will talk to the person that I believe is key to that, the saboteur. Okay. I'm definitely not going to say, why are you sabotaging this? That is not going to be a fruitful conversation. Or if it is a fruitful conversation, it's not one that I want to have, because it's not going to be fruitful in the ways of making the team better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is talk to them. I observed this thing, and I might be as blunt as to say, I saw you do this thing. Okay, it's an observation. Get them to agree to it. Is it fair that I saw it? Well, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I saw part of something. Maybe I saw it, but I didn't understand the context. This gives them an opportunity to immediately start that dialogue. Well, actually, this happened. Okay, and that might put it in a different light. Maybe it's not sabotage. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. But it's an observation. It's a thing that happened. Do they agree? And if they do, great, we can move on. If they don't, we need to understand what actually happened. Maybe their recollection is different. The sooner you can do this to the observation, the better. Because there's less chance of your memory playing tricks on you, less chance of their memory playing tricks on them. And let's be honest, after you've fallen asleep and woken up again, the world's reset and I've forgotten everything. Anyway, so I start with an observation, and then I want to make it relevant to that person and that team. Okay? So it bothers me that you did that thing because it looked to the team like this, or it looked to me like this. Okay? So it's relevant. This is a thing we need to talk about. Okay? I think it's important enough that we have this chat. Okay? And there are consequences. Step 3 is to talk about the consequences. Because of that, the team are actually concerned that you're working against them, or I am concerned that you're working against the betterment of the team. Right? But remember, this isn't you talking at them, this is a conversation with them. I'm listing it step by step, but this is talking to another human being. Be curious, let them speak, give them all the time they need to explain whatever's going on in their mind, because maybe you've got it wrong. Maybe you've misunderstood. Okay? I close out with an action. This is a simple feedback tool called ORCA. Observation, relevance, consequence, action. Okay? What can we do to maybe shortcut that, or make it more transparent, or whatever a good answer is for that team? Okay? I come across very, very few people who are willingly sabotaging a team because they're making their own lives harder. Okay? I come across a lot of people who are doing things that are misunderstood by the team. Okay? I'll have that conversation one-on-one to start with. Very simple feedback model that I use to structure. And then from that, we may come up with an action. I had one person who in every meeting took over. Very powerful personality, but liked to talk as well. Okay? And they recognised that. So I started with the observation. Richard, I notice you talk a lot in meetings. And they just went, yeah, I do. I said, that's good. It's great that you're engaged. I really like that you have passion for everything we're talking about. And they did genuinely very, very good at their job and really, really enjoyed it. And I said, that's great. But the downside is other people don't get to speak. And because of that, I don't feel like we're getting a good blend of ideas in the room. We're not getting the best out of us as a team. And he agreed. He knew it, he just couldn't shut up. So together we crafted an action. This was back in the days when you were allowed to be in rooms together. The action was actually very simple. Was in meetings, when I wanted him to be quiet, I would stand behind him. So all I did as a facilitator, I was always on my feet anyway, moving around. But if I got to the point of saying, that's really interesting, Richard, and I tried everything else in my toolbox to get him to be quiet, all I did was I stood behind him. Right, and that was the trigger to him to just calm down a bit, just take a moment. And when I moved away again, he could start talking again. Okay? He wasn't sabotaging the team. He was doing damage to the team, and he knew it. He just didn't know how to stop. So through a very simple feedback framework, we came up with a simple action that really helped him and the team be better. So I don't come across many saboteurs. Okay, those that I do, and they're actively sabotaging your team, okay, that's a line management problem. You have somebody who is not only disengaged at work, but actively disengaged. They are destroying the value of your team. Okay, if that is what you have, that is not on you as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach. You may have these conversations beforehand to determine it, but if they just turn around to you and say, actually, I don't care. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be successful. I don't want this team to be successful, this organisation to be successful. That isn't on you. Go take that to the line manager and let them deal with it. If, however, it's miscommunication, misunderstanding, what you need to do is raise that in their mind, and if necessary, with the whole team, to come up with actions that help you move forwards in a healthy, effective manner. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.